Once upon a time, Nintendo wasn't just any company. It was a company led by people we could trust.
My name is Reggie. I'm about kicking ass. I'm about taking names. And we're about making games.
A spark of joy carried by the people who led it.
My body is ready.
When Reggie Fils-Aimé and Satoru Iwata stood on stage, they weren't just executives. They were gamers, storytellers, people who seemed to get us.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.
Back then, Nintendo felt alive. It had personality, heart, and humor.
Mr. Iwata, maybe this year I can just take the names and you can kick the,
But somewhere along the way, something changed. There was a time where Nintendo felt human. Now it feels like a corporation only out for money and power. So what happened in Nintendo's soul? During the late 2000s and early 2010s, Nintendo had something few corporations ever achieve: human faces we trusted. Reggie was the embodiment of confidence and charm, the perfect bridge between gamers and the boardroom. Iwata, meanwhile, was a developer turned president who believed leadership meant understanding players, because he was one. Together, they transformed corporate communication into something personal. They didn't just appear in press releases. They made skits, they laughed, they participated. Iwata would hold Iwata Asks interviews with developers, giving fans an inside look at how games were made. These weren't ads, they were conversations. And that made us feel like Nintendo wasn't just selling to us, it was with us. What made this era so alive was Nintendo's philosophy. While Sony and Microsoft were in a horsepower race, Nintendo looked the other way. They didn't chase graphics or specs, they chased smiles. The Wii's motion controls were seen as a gamble. The DS's two screens were called gimmicks, yet both became cultural phenomena. Why? Because Nintendo wasn't trying to win the tech war. They were trying to expand the joy of gaming itself. Iwata often talked about the blue ocean strategy, creating new markets instead of fighting over the same ones. That mindset gave us Wii Sports, Brain Age, and even the quirky Miis. Simple, universal fun anyone could enjoy. Nintendo wasn't focused on profits. Profits came because they focused on fun. Fast forward to today, and we see that the Nintendo Switch is a massive success. Over 150 million units sold. The Nintendo Switch 2, absolutely wild sales. It has at least 10 million units sold, and it's only been out for a few months. But with that success has come a more cautious approach. Nintendo's modern strategy feels safer, more predictable. We see fewer risks and more remasters in Switch 2 editions. Mario Party Jamboree Switch 2 edition, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for $70, Animal Crossing Switch 2 edition. Great games, yes. They transform what was already incredible at one point in time and remakes them into something better. But they're still safe games. And while nostalgia and upgraded versions of games do sell, it can sometimes make the company feel more focused on preserving its brand rather than experimenting boldly. Marketing has shifted too. The playful skits, the quirky personalities, the awkward moments, the sense that executives were part of the fan community, those moments are rarer, if not non-existent. Even the Miis, the staple of the Wii and Wii U generation, have fizzled out, being replaced by more modern avatars like the ones in Switch Sports. Nintendo still inspires incredible enthusiasm, but the personal human connection that once defined the company's public voice is less visible today. The creativity hasn't vanished, it's just expressed in a more measured, controlled way. When Iwata passed away in 2015 and Reggie retired a few years later, it marked the end of an era, not just of leadership, but of the caring attitude that they held and the incredible, bold innovation that gave us the Wii and the DS. Since then, Nintendo has become quieter, more reserved, and less personal. Fans don't feel spoken to anymore, just marketed at. Instead of seeing faces, we see logos. Instead of conversations, we see quarterly statements. And the company that once celebrated creative chaos now prizes control. For a generation that grew up with Nintendo as a friend, it feels like losing touch with someone you once knew. Someone who made you laugh, dream, and believe in fun for fun's sake. And yet, the magic isn't gone. You can still feel it in Tears of the Kingdom, where creativity and discovery are once again at the center. You can feel it in Super Mario Bros. Wonder, with its unexpected energy and charm. It is all over the place with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Those games proved that the soul of Nintendo still burns. It's just hidden behind the business. The spirit that Iwata and Reggie built doesn't vanish. It evolves. Maybe Nintendo's current era is about stability, but every so often, a game reminds us that this company still remembers what it means to play. Perhaps Nintendo hasn't lost its magic. It's just hiding behind the numbers. Satoru Iwata once said, "We're not competing against other companies. We're competing for people's time. That's what made Nintendo different. They valued our time, and more importantly, our joy, more than our wallets.